welcome to Tolleson-Mack. We still here at the MGM. We got our buddy Kincade Henry for part 2. Came on Prescott,
Prescott,
right?
Arizona.
And
Yes,
made a
sir.
run after that. So
Where were you standing at that point?
Oh, Prescott, I was probably mid-20s, maybe 25, 26.
yeah, and then after that, you kind of just went on a run and made the finals. I got a couple text messages that you weren't sneaking any caps back out of Canada, but
No caps. I'm still haunted by that Calgary Stampede. I did pull my first check.
there you
I've
go.
ran, it was 448. I've ran I've ran 11 cabs there, and I've won 1 check.
That's a long ways up
Better than
there,
running
too.
11 and winning no checks.
That's right.
Hey, so as these guys come on and we get to know them better and better, like I kind of, they're my buddies, so we text back and forth or we'll call and talk or whatever. They come through Arizona. And I got a favor. I had to ask Kincade for a favor because my daughter is like your biggest fan. I mean, she's now a calf roping aficionado. I mean, she knows everything. So I told her, I said, hey, when Kincade comes on at the finals, we're going to give you a call. She's like, no, you won't. No, you won't. So we're gonna call her.
We are.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So her name's Hayden, soccer player. I kind of told you about that stuff, but let's see if we can get it plugged in here. Craig, you got us, Craig?
The leg.
There we go. Think she's nervous right now?
Maybe. I don't know.
She's going to screen this call, you think? There it is.
Hello? 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 All right, let's tell her to call us, and we'll go on. And when she calls back, we'll just cut it in.
Yeah, that worked better last time.
Yeah,
I
that worked
remember
good.
last week when during the shutdown. We need to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
how
that was
about
crazy?
Dude.
Yeah, how about you guys being in there and then like they
I was
call
in there?
I was going live. I was
were
TikTok
live on
live for Tolleson-Mack, dude. I was sitting over there
Just
just
chilling.
I was in the back, right behind the boxes over there. I was walking around trying to show everybody, the whole
Uh-huh.
practice over there, and then like, hey, shutting everything down, and it was all right, right? Where you
Everything
got
was cool.
pictures, no mail,
Yeah.
whatever, And then it got serious.
Here she is.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can plug it in here. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, Huda?
What's up?
What are you doing?
I'm just in trainer.
Well,
Oh, okay.
say hello to Kincade.
Hayden, what's up? It's Kincade.
Hi, Pookie Bear.
Oh, she calls you Pookie Bear.
You already got a nickname, dude.
You
All
already got a
right.
nick- Yeah, that's real life right there. Yeah, I told him you're quite the calf roping aficionado. Now you watch the calf roping for some reason.
Yep.
Yeah, you like the calf roping?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
You got all your friends huddled around you while you got Kincade on the phone?
No, I'm
No.
in the trainer because my
Oh.
leg hurts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were telling her you play, or telling him you play a little soccer.
Yeah.
I showed him some videos. He said you need to maybe hustle a little more.
You're way better than I ever was at soccer. I promise you that.
Thank you.
Kincade has 2 more rounds left. You got any words of inspiration for him?
I believe in you.
Oh,
There we go.
That's all you need
That's
in
all
life.
all you need.
That's all you need in life.
Yep.
All right, Hayden. Well, have fun at school. I love you.
Okay, I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Pookie Bear, dude.
Pookie Bear,
Already.
right
Did you
there.
even know that you had a
Yeah.
nickname
I didn't
already?
even know. I
I
mean,
had no
Jeez,
idea.
man.
that's I feel like if Hayden ever gets control of the bank account, there's a possible sponsorship there.
Oh, sweet.
Possible.
Hope she does.
Possible sponsorship.
I'm ready for the business
for
to
Pookie
pass
Bear.
down.
Just so happens you need a new pickup and a trailer right now at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Wrap
Ne-
the whole thing.
Next horse you'll be riding, it'll say Pookie.
Pookie across the
instead of
top.
Mario.
That's right.
So all right. Well, man, I appreciate that.
Oh,
That was a personal thing for me. But let's get back to that shutdown lockdown, man. Talk us through it, Caesar. It was pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, I was walking around and like it was, how that Tolleson-Mack, it's got so much emotions in that place, man. Like it was happy, everybody grand entry practice, man. This is fun. And it went to not very fun there for a little while, and they had everybody in lockdown. And then it was all right. Everybody was taking pictures, group pictures, and kind of joking around there. And then it got kind of serious there for a little bit when they brought the SWAT team in there, and I was in the stands filming, and like I kind of stood right there on the rail and was still filming, and they were saying, "Hey, everybody in the stands, down on the ground level right now, like get out of the stands." And then when we heard, you probably heard that little They were screaming and
Motion.
yeah.
Yeah, which the guy that was helping me, he was in there and he was on top, like he was walking around the top level. So he runs down.
He's probably like, oh,
Well, he runs down like when everything was still cool. He runs down. We're all sitting on the first level of chairs, and he comes down. He's like, the SWAT's outside, and they're sweeping cars outside. And he's like, this is serious. I'm like, dude, calm down, whatever. And then 30 seconds later, everybody get on the arena dirt. Your feet's got to be touching arena dirt. My girlfriend loses it. She's bawling her eyes out, running to the back. I'm like, Callie, calm down. You're okay. Everything's
SWAT
cool.
teams.
right here.
Calm down. So she goes to the heel box, and she's covered up in the heel box, just crying and shivering and shaking. I'm like, gosh, dang. And I was still fine. And then whenever they started screaming at the dude, get on the ground, put your hands in the air, I was like, holy
Okay, it just got
his
real.
wrist is
right?
actually
Fast.
real.
They got like that, man.
And nobody was joking. I mean, everybody was like,
You could
you know,
see
it-
it on
it
their
got
faces.
serious.
Yeah,
His live videos, you could see it was like everybody was just kind of like, it's just one of them deals. Somebody blah blah blah. And then when they told you guys to get down, everybody's demeanor.
What
changed.
about
Yeah.
that alpha woman stepping down the stairs and telling everybody, "Hey, we're gonna go out this gate over here," and like she was
Did you?
did
I
not
would
want to
not
mess with
wanna
that
mess
lady.
with
Like,
her.
she
No.
was serious, man.
So did you guys notice like the first night they did the finals, they brought first responders up there? Was that the lady? Do you know? Or did you see that?
No, that was
They
the.
like bring them out on stage and stuff.
I'm pretty sure that was the cops that first got in the building to kill
get
the
that guy.
shooter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But their expressions were none. I don't know if you noticed that. They did nothing. They stood there.
No, stood
I
solid.
mean, you could tell it was pretty rough on them.
Yeah, everybody, I think always thinks that's easy. I've never personally experienced it, but that's a lot. That's pretty. That's a lot of emotion. So when everybody has to stand up at the rodeo and take that moment of silence and show appreciation for them, I think that's pretty awesome because the job those people do. Yeah, when they're pulling you over, giving you a ticket for your window tint, you're pretty pissed off at them.
Mm-hmm.
But when your girlfriend's crying, bawling, and there's a shooter outside, and those are the people that are
That
protecting
are
you,
protecting.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
yeah,
God loves his Cowboys because they had every top 15 Cowboy in the building. SWAT team surrounded that building, helicopters flying all over,
Yeah.
and then they had escort us out to the trailers. And
Yeah.
like I said, like God loves his Cowboys for sure.
yeah.
Right.
And I mean, not to make light of the situation, but could that guy have picked any worse group of people? Like there was nowhere for that guy to go. Like, you know what I mean? If he would have took off on the run, I mean, he'd have ran through all them Cowboys. And I mean, I've heard sitting here lots of room. There was plenty of guys in the parking lot ready for him.
Well,
Yes.
like, do you have a gun in your pickup?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I mean. Everybody
Every truck out
yeah,
there.
yeah. We didn't have it on us, but if we could have got out to the pickups, we'd have been just fine. I think.
You should see Caesar's pig sticker he's got. I mean, he's ready for
I
battle.
packed it with me. Well, I got a rental car when I went over there, so I didn't have any of my stuff. I usually keep a gun, and I got a Colt 45 pistol in there because bear country up in Montana. So I got a big pistol in there. And so, yeah, I didn't have none of it. And I'm in this rental car. I didn't have a knife or nothing. I'm like, I'm like Coulter, you need to have a knife. You're going to fight a bear. We're going to at least have a knife.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I felt pretty naked. So I packed my blade with me pretty much everywhere I go. I see these signs that you're not supposed to, but I think somebody's got to.
Somebody has to.
You
for
won't
sure.
at least trust me with it. I'll be fine.
Yeah. The boys out here helping Webb, I think it's Dylan Hancock and Cole Clemens. They went to the truck, grabbed their pistols, and they climbed up on top of the trailer.
They were ready.
They sent us a Snapchat. They're sitting there holding their pistols like this, watching the chopper. I said, they're gonna bust in there and think y'all are the shooter,
gonna
and
think
y'all are gonna get shot. Put your pistol in your pocket or something.
They
Don't
said they
just
were
walk around with it.
protecting everybody. They're making sure the shooter didn't come through there. 'Cause if he started slipping through the trailers, he was going to get it.
No,
Oh, yeah.
that'd have been a bad idea for that. It'd have been Cowboys and Indians all over again, and them boys have been excited.
Yeah.
What about that perf they had to have because of the shutdown right there? Like
Everybody's calling it the slack.
the slack.
Yeah,
What about that? You ever thought you'd have to run a slack in the National Finals Rodeo?
No, I don't think I ever thought it, and it was actually better than what I thought it was going to be. I mean, the whole bottom level was almost full, and the music
who
was
was that?
going, and
Who are the people on the bottom level? Because to us,
Family and first responders and
is that what it was?
Yes,
And
yes, yes,
students.
yeah,
Oh,
and
students,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, students
That's cool.
involved, yeah.
That's cool they did that. Yeah, because we were hearing no one was allowed in there, and I was thinking,
No
That's gonna
ticket.
be
They didn't sell any
eerie.
tickets, but they give the contestants like 10
Yep.
tickets for
Oh, sweet.
family and stuff like that, so they can get whatever kind of the bottom.
yeah, because
level.
it kind of filled up that bottom
Yeah, it
field.
did.
Yeah.
It did. It was cool.
And shoot, like man, getting to run 2 in that day. How did it feel for you? Just to be able, like, it takes all day to run one. Like, if you have a mistake, it takes you're thinking about it all day. But man, you got to sleep and run one in the morning, and kind of got a little bit of rest. Maybe went and got some lunch and back at it again.
Yeah, I honestly loved it because the way I look at everything is opportunities. Like, where's my next opportunity? When's my next opportunity? What am I going to do with my next opportunity? So if I got 2 opportunities in one day for 30,000 a pop, oh, I love it.
90,000 within 24 hours. That's pretty neat, right there, right? You
For
know?
sure, for sure. I mean, if we could have piled 10 person 5 days, I'd have been happy with it.
Yeah, for
Yeah, that's
sure.
what Caleb was saying, right? He had a
Yeah.
chance at 90,000 in 24 hours.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And he almost got it too. I didn't, but he did.
We had him on here yesterday, and we had Fred Whitfield on here too, and Fred Whitfield was calling him Mr. Smooth.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a pretty big compliment. Fred had some good things to say about you and your horse as well.
That's where it's at, I think, in this building is that them horses.
Oh
If
yeah,
they fit this building, you're going to be in good shape. And we talked about it a little while ago. You're sitting third in the average. You got them all tied down. Like there's still 2 more rounds left. There's a lot of rodeo left. What's your plan for the next couple of rounds? Like I know you said you want to get more in the day monies, but this is kind of where you turned it up.
yeah. 100%. Just really hoping for a great calf and then just get after it. It stinks for me to have to go time down to stay in the average. That's not me. That's not my roping. But like last night, and I've tried to go at every one. I had a couple things wrong. I was trying to swing too early, and I got all that lined out. And about the 7th round, I finally felt good and confident about throwing right now and getting it on. And then last night I had a calf that they hadn't tied under 10. And Tough, he was ahead of me in the average. He went out right before me, and the first round the calf hauled butt, and then the second round she didn't leave. They got the barrier on her, so I told myself I'm gonna make sure she moves. If I hit the barrier, I'm still going at her, and if I miss it, just go get my average check or whatever. But I don't love that kind of roping, but I guess it's what you.
I think you're
Have to
thinking
do
right because
sometimes.
Part of the business, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Because if you're drawing in the tough end of the calves or the steers, you're just doing all you can just to get them down. But like those are the kind that'll take you out. They're gonna take you out of the average, and you're doing really good. If you happen to make a mistake at the barrier, take one more swing, get them down, and tie your calf like you're supposed to. But man, I'm hoping you get a really good calf these next couple rounds. Let Mario do some work. Talk about Mario a little bit.
Man, he's the horse. I mean, I win everything on him, and it's crazy to me how whenever I'm not on him, things aren't going good, and I get on him, and it's just insane. Like I brought him out for Calgary. I rode him one round, got off of him. I didn't love the feel, and then I rode my other horses all the way to about the second week of August, and I got to look, and I'm like 20 something in the world again. I dropped back down because at the 4th I won a bunch and jumped up, and then I went back down. And about the 3rd week of August, he was the man. I rode him everywhere. My vet told me not to, but I rode him everywhere. And
Had to.
I won. I mean, the week of Pendleton, I won 22,000 or something in 5 rodeos. The week before, I won 12,000. The week before, I'd win 15. It was just like bang, bang, bang. Every week I was winning, and then, it was all good.
It's a good horse, man. I just got off the podcast with Derek Begay, and he was talking about feel, how important feel is, and you talked about it just a little while ago. It just didn't feel just quite right, and then when you got back on him, the feel was just right on the money. How does he feel over here at the building this week?
He's right on the money. I mean, he's been awesome, and I feel like I'm not doing him enough justice because I haven't won what I'm supposed to be winning, So and I know he's 18 years old. He's not the soundest. I don't know how many more calves I have to run on Mario, you know. So every time I step foot on him, my goal is to win, you know, because I know I can and I know I'm supposed to. So, I mean, he's been as good as a horse can possibly be this week.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Joe B or maybe one of the, Jeff Metters or one of those other guys that commentate, but they said when you're on that horse and you back in the box, you don't care if they run a buffalo in there.
Oh, yeah.
Joe
You're gonna-
Beaver said that.
Yeah, Joe Beaver said it. He said you're going to rope him and tie him down because you don't care. Like when he said out of everybody here, when this kid steps on this horse, there ain't nothing you could run in there that he won't tie down.
Well, I listened to that. He said when Kincaid's on Mario, he turns to King Kong.
Yeah, turns to
So I'm
King
like,
Kong,
I
yeah.
said, "Dude, what?"
Yeah.
But
Can you hear him talking right there? in the
no,
box?
no, I
It's so
can't.
loud in
And-
there, dude.
Oh no, I
It's-
just always wondered that
but
because
like,
he's like right there.
and he's talking loud, and he's right there, but you can't hear him. That's
No,
the
you
thing
can't
about
hear
that
it.
building.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
so
he kinda
electrified.
talks you guys up, and I'm thinking that's cool. Like he's right there. He's kids thinking he's King Kong ready to
Uh-huh.
go.
Which I've heard interviews where people say you can hear him, but I can't. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
Caesar says you could never
Yeah,
hear him.
It's
I don't-
so loud.
Yeah,
there, right? The
because he's
vibration.
like forward. He's over there in the corner.
He's got like
in
a little-
front of the box. Yeah.
He got a little TV up
Yeah,
there or something.
yeah. He's got a little screen, but yeah, it's you can. He's almost screaming because I've been over there in the calf roping on that side right there, and you can hear him talking. But then when you're in the heat of the moment, you can't hear nothing in that building.
Yeah.
And
And
then
you probably don't want to hear nothing.
I don't want to
but
hear
your own
anything
thoughts.
Joe's saying. Yeah.
Just your own thoughts.
it's such a mind game in that building because you talked about a little while ago how when Tough went, you had to make that split second decision. And it's like your adrenaline's going. It's like, man, I just need to get this calf tied down to jump ahead of Tough now. So like, talk to us a little bit about that when you're going down the line. You're lined up 15 in a row. And then you go one calf roper goes, one calf roper goes. Sometimes you can kind of feel the energy coming from out there, but from the building there. But talk to us a little bit about that, like that split second decision you're having to make sometimes.
For sure. I think Tuff's probably 6 ahead of me. And then Smith was behind me in the average, and I knew he had a piece of junk. So all this is in my mind, and I got a calf that, she's not very good. I don't know if she's gonna run. She sucks to flank, and then she tries to kick up. But I mean, it does not matter. I want 30,000. I want to go around buckle, so I'm going at her. So Tough, he goes out, and I'm back there with my little cousin, and I said, Tough just went out. I said, it don't matter how fast I'm going. I have to put 2 wraps now. So I go up there, and I just the whole time I'm telling myself, and I'm talking to myself in my head, and everything's slow motion. I still know if I'm hitting the barrier, I'm going at her because the round's easy. And then as soon as I was late, the calf split and stepped left in my mind, Tough's deal's in my head, Smith's deal is in my head. I'm just like, tire and 9,
Yeah.
just get
No
by her.
mistakes,
And
just go tight.
yeah, I said it earlier. I hate that roping.
I know,
I
I know.
can't stand it. I like to go fast. I like to get it on. But I guess if that's what you have to do,
There's
you
offense
have
and
to do.
defense in
For
this,
sure.
in this building, and then you're going to have 10 calves. You're going to have to play a little bit of both. Smith talked about it a little bit. When you get the
100,
opportunity to take it, but if not, don't take yourself out of the average.
Yes, for sure. And I've never. This is the first year, and Smith laughs about this because I'm always talking to him about it. This is the first year of my life. Like I'm the guy that everybody talks about draws the dyers. I mean, everywhere I got the good calf every single time. And this year, throughout the summer, throughout everything, I'm just like I can't draw nothing. And Smith's like, yeah, this is normal. You're not supposed to draw the dyer everywhere.
That's kind of how it's supposed to
And
go.
he makes fun of me, in the same way here. I'm not drawing bad. All the calves are good, but there's 4 or 5 in each
There's
pen that are
tough. Yeah,
great.
you've been drawing tough ones.
And I've drawn 2 or 3 great ones, and I haven't done my job on them. And but we got 2 more rounds left,
Man,
60,000,
grand, and then plus
the
that
day
average,
money,
stay hooked.
plus
That
a little
average.
average money. It could very easily turn out to be a great week.
Yeah, make a living.
That says something about your character. Just what you said there. Like you drew some bad ones. They are what they are. But you drew some good ones, and you didn't do your job.
I didn't do my job,
That's
yes.
coming. That says a lot about your character and how you're moving on. We talked to Fred yesterday, like I said, for a while, and he was saying that is a lonely island out there in the middle of the Tolleson-Mack. Is you and a calf and your horse, and he said it's very lonely. And I couldn't imagine how lonely it had to be for Tough Cooper last night when he went to reach back for that pig and string and it wasn't there.
Where's-
He goes,
just
I didn't watch
You
it.
didn't
I
see
just
that?
No, like I'm in the back watching the TV, and I'm not paying attention at all. But I look up, and he's on his second loop,
Yep.
and that's when I told my cousin, I was like, all right, 2 wraps now. But I didn't watch anything else.
Yeah,
What?
he roped
He
that
dropped his picking string.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he went to get back on his horse right there, his horse kind of shied away, and I don't know if
Back
it
to,
pulled out
like,
of
the
his
box.
mouth or like when he went to get back on, and when he got back on, that's the first thing I see. He's gonna lose the string,
and it was
and he,
hanging.
and he
It
doesn't
was
have an
hanging
didn't have an
down.
extra. It was just right in his belt loop, and the loop was big, and I know the loop gets big right there. The weight's just
Yeah.
gonna pull out. So when he went to chase after the calf, I could see it come out, and
Yeah,
he stuck.
and
it
he
on.
roped him down
And he
there.
was-
He roped him down there by the bucking chutes, and he went.
Hit like tapped it like 3 or 4 times, like,
"Oh."
and then looked back like,
And
Hot
I
there.
just, I thought to myself, especially after Fred saying that
yeah,
yesterday, dude,
lonely island out there.
man.
That's
Like
a
you
bad
hear the
feeling.
tumbleweeds blow by, like it's so lonely out there.
But then at the same time, bam, you got to make that split second decision. Like, this is what I need to do. He jumped down. I get a chance to jump up. You know, that's
So that's
so
what
many
I
mind
think-
games, man.
That's what I think is cool for the listeners to understand is, I mean, you're roping behind Tough Cooper. He's came in 15th. He's now sitting 7th. These are all the things you're thinking about in that tunnel, and then you happen to catch a glimpse of him going out. Oh shit! I got to put 2 reps on.
Yeah,
exactly.
Whatever
That's
my
exactly
game
right.
plan was went out because now I got to put 2 reps on.
Yeah, and also I think the biggest deal, which I don't expect this because Haven, Medjed, and Riley Webb are 2 of the ropingest dudes I've ever seen, but them 2 are fighting each other for a buckle. They're trying to tie every single calf in 6. So I mean, with 2 rounds left, you don't even know what they're gonna do because they're just straight getting after it every single night. So
That's a knife fight.
That's playing in my mind too. That hey, I do need to catch and tie her down. I want to be going at these calves, but if I don't have the best one, just get her tied down and
Yeah.
see what happens. But yeah, that Haven's not giving Webb any slack, and Webb's not taking any. I mean, he's getting after it. Haven's getting after it. I mean, this is
Oh, man, that's what makes it so cool, right?
Yep.
Because I mean, even if you're not a fan of rodeo or not a fan of whatever, if you're a fan of sport, that's cool. To watch them guys doing that, and then like in the bull riding to watch Sage Kimsey sneaking up. I mean,
yeah.
I called Kai Hamilton winning the world, but not in the way that he did it. I didn't think Stetson was going to go out.
Mhm.
Like I thought 100% those guys were going to just be battling it out the whole time. And now I think Kai has to watch Sage, coming up on the back. So that just makes this sport of rodeo and this 10 days of the finals just so awesome,
For sure. And I'll tell you what, there's a chance, and it's probably going to happen. Haven and Riley are going to break the average record.
Oh yeah.
2 of them are. I did the math for Haven before last night. If he averaged 8.9 on the next 3, he's going to shatter the record. And
That's a
Webb's
practice
only
run.
3 seconds behind him. Then Haven was 7.7 last night. I mean, it's them 2 are going at every single one of them.
So I think both of you guys can answer this for me, and you just touched on it a little bit, but I mean, are the calculators just melting down back there? Like when you get this close to the end, like Coulter, he's legged some, but they're the only ones still in the average,
Yep.
and stuff like that. Are the calculators just melting down back there, everybody? And does that help you guys if, like how you were saying, hey, he's got to rope it in this much time or under, or, this or that. Does that help you, or are you the kind of dude like how Derek was saying, I just want to rope horns? Like, I just want to turn cattle.
I mean, for me, it's just roping. And like last night, if I would have been paying attention to the times, because like the calf I had was a big Bramer, so 9-1-1/5. And this is the sickest I've ever been in the Tolleson-Mack. I've broke the barrier here. I've missed calves here. I've never been sicker than last night because 9-1-1/5. And whenever I crossed her, I 2-hand tied her, and it was loose, and I pulled on it. Like I completely slacked off tying because I thought I couldn't place in the round, and I was just tying her down. And I was already pissed off when I flanked her that I was just tying her down. And I slacked off tying, and then I'm 9-4. And if I was 3/10 faster, if I would have been watching the times, I would have tied harder and tied faster, and I would have won 5th in the round and won 8,000. And that is the only run in the Tolleson-Mack I've ever been disappointed in. And I did exactly what I said I was going to do. But the fact that 9-1-1/5, that just aggravates the mess out of me. I mean, it truly does. It hurts me. It's like, gosh,
Well,
dang.
you're
but-
here to make a living. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you come here trying to win a world title, but you're at the end of the day, we're trying to make a living so you can go back and rodeo next year.
For sure.
If you know what I mean, the more money you can win, if you can win 150,000, so be it. 200,000, let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And that's the competitor in you right there. Even if it was for fifth or sixth, that's 7,500 or whatever
Oh,
it is.
man.
You know, like that's money. We need that.
Oh, for sure.
I love that.
Well, and
Sure.
just like you said, just the point of a few tenths of a second. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
you're fast.
Yeah,
You know?
but at the same time, I don't like knowing what the times are for the
That's
round
tough, right?
because I want to be clear in my head that I'm
Yeah.
going to do my job on my calf
Right.
and I'm going to tire as fast as I possibly can, you know? So I don't watch the times for that reason. But last night, if I'd have been watching the times, I truly think I could have tied her all day in 9-1. I could have thrown a swing earlier. I mean, I could have done all kinds of things
Yeah.
to tie her in 9-1 to win fifth, you know? So
Yeah.
it's kind of, it's hard right there
You
to know
see
what to
these
do.
guys before they go in the box. It looks like they're so calm,
Yeah.
and cool, and like they're not thinking of nothing. They're just
Just easy to.
there's
Oh,
like a
in our
duck on
minds,
water,
it's
dude.
just-
Like a duck on water, dude. And the feet underneath are just doing this right there. You know what I'm saying?
It's got to be, especially when you're cranking down, getting close to the 10th round, and everything's counting, and every
Yeah.
10th is
Every
counting.
second.
Yeah, everything is counting, and then again, tough goes out. Maybe you move up, everything changes. You know what I mean? It's a wild game that you guys get to play. It like how you guys were talking. Like everybody comes out here. We come out here, people partying, shopping, doing all this thing, but you guys are making a living. So basically, this would be like having 18,000 people sitting around our processing plant watching us cut up steaks as we're
Yeah.
making a living, right? So everybody's thinking, oh, he roped okay. Well, no, dude, he don't get paid today.
No.
Like he didn't make a check. Like I think that's hard sometimes for people to understand. And Caesar just touched on it. 7,500, and then this and it adds and you make maybe an extra 30,000, and then that gets you down the road next year, right? That gets you started out. It's like farming. Everybody thinks farmers are so rich, but really all that is done is you work all year so you can pay everyone, make sure your wife drives a nice car, and fill up
And
the fuel
start
tanks.
again next
Yeah,
year.
and fill up the fuel tanks just so you can start again next year. Like, and have a good start going. So let's talk about that. I so many times bring this up on the podcast how in Prescott I asked you, what's your plan? What's your plan for the future? And you told me I got no plan. I'm
just gonna rope.
I'm just rodeo. I'm just roping. And I tell everybody that I said, man, I left there and that 20-year-old kid taught me something. I said, I'm 45 years old, but he taught me that you just live in the moment, man, because it's cool. And
Yeah.
and from Prescott to here, obviously we're fans,
Yeah.
but from Prescott to here, that's what you did, and you made it back to the NFR, and we're so proud of you and happy that you're back here, man. I hope in the grand scheme of things, you know how important it is. I mean, this guy made it nine times here, and you can't go to Starbucks with him without getting mauled.
That's right.
It's awesome, man.
That's right.
It's awesome. You're a rock star out here.
Yeah.
That's what we rodeo for. Like to feel that way. That like I said, you especially calf roping. You walk around like you're a rock star out here.
Yeah,
All the calf ropers do. I don't know if they are, but all of them walk around like they're somebody.
like Peyton yesterday what was he saying? He picked up his buddy from the airport and then was just gonna come here and maybe hang out for a minute or whatever. And
Go
he's
through
like,
the MGM.
yeah, he's like, there was no hanging out.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
He's like,
Signing orders, taking pictures, and he said that's what he likes about the signature towers. Just like you go to valet right here at the tower, you don't have
And
to go
get
to the
in your
casino at all.
room.
Yeah.
slip right in your room. But I mean, right now for these 10, 12, 15 days, whatever you guys are out here, that probably goes on a lot. But throughout the year, that truck going up and down the road's probably awful lonely,
There
right?
ain't no fans. There ain't nobody calling you, texting you. I got people calling me, texting me, telling me how to rope, when to rope, how to do this, how to do that. I'm like, come on, guys. I mean,
Yeah, where were you at for the other
Yeah.
11 months of the year?
yeah, whenever I was driving from Pendleton to Albuquerque at 3 a.m., you should have called me, and I'd have loved for you to tell me how to rope.
We could
But-
have talked about it the whole way.
but out here it's a little busier. Like
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
what my dad, all of our cousins, and we love everybody, but all of our cousins and all that and they're one that and I did. We went and ate lunch a couple of days, but they're one to eat lunch, eat dinner, eat breakfast, do all this. And my dad, he told his sister, he said, "Hey, I live in Mount Pleasant, Texas. You can come see me in Mount Pleasant, Texas, and hang out." That's what he told her, but it was funny.
You know exactly where I live.
Yeah.
And so I think we crack into this a little bit. I don't want to get either one of you in trouble with any of your family, but it even happens to us when we're doing this podcast. Like, your family and friends, they're just trying to be family and friends.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes they forget that you're roping for your job.
Exactly.
Or like when we podcast, like we're here and like my poor wife, she comes and her and the guy that drives her around Las Vegas are best buddies. Like that guy comes to Christmas with us now because when we're here, we're working, and that's hard. That's a hard thing, right? Because everybody wants you to hang out, like you said, go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you don't want to be that guy that doesn't go, but you're also running at $30,000 every night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the guy that helps me with the mental game, I think I talked
Yeah.
about him, Chad Bolin. And he told me this last year, and he told me it again. He said, "Hey, I know you're not like this, but it's okay to be selfish for these 10 days.
Yeah.
You get your rest, you get your preparation, your mental preparation, and all that, and it's okay to be selfish. Your family understands. They're gonna want dinners." He said it's the same thing whenever his teams go to the playoffs or to the Super Bowl. Everybody's families want to do this and do that. He said, "I tell everybody, you're allowed to be selfish. It's a part of your job. It stinks, but it's a
Yeah.
part of it."
I mean, it's got to be no different for anyone that, like a pro athlete playing football. He makes a Super Bowl, and you want your family to be. That makes you feel good
Yes,
when your
yes.
family's there. It does me. But man, there comes a time where it's work.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's game time.
We talked about it a little earlier too. We're out here. We got to sign autographs. Our sponsors like us to do that. So you're scheduled in. You might start from 10. I used to start about 10 o'clock, and I wouldn't end till 3, and then try to get showered up and ready for the perf. And like to me, that drained me real. Going to the rodeos, I'd hang out with the rodeo family, the rodeo circle, but I would never make my way to the stands very much. Like I was kind of kept in my little area. But out here, when you rope, you're like, you got somebody helping you take care of your horse, which I usually did during the regular season,
Yeah.
and that was kind of like therapy for me to go brush him and do all that stuff. But I had Benny Mosley help me out a lot and take care of my stuff when I was making the finals. It's like, I like how you said that you got to be selfish a little bit, and I didn't. I always scheduled them, my sponsors in through the whole week, and even later on in the week, we're probably around 8, 9, and 10. You probably need to be just thinking and have time to yourself.
Yep.
And so, like you talked about that a little while ago about signing, you scheduled them early. That way, you didn't have to. You had the 8th, 9th, 10th round to just kind of be there for you.
For
Talk
sure.
a little bit about that.
Yeah, I never scheduled an autograph signing at 10 a.m. Mine start at 11. But yeah, I scheduled everything at the beginning of the week, and I piled it on a couple of days, and those couple of days were hard. But I mean, this is what we dreamed about. Like 5 years ago, I was sitting in high school class
Dreaming about
with
it.
my phone underneath the table watching calf roping videos, and I was getting in trouble at school for it. So I will never complain about having to go do that.
Yeah.
I think it's a part of the job. Our sponsors help us so much that it's great to go help them. If that's
Sure.
what they want, then let's do it. But yeah, I mean, last year I was spread out all week. I went to the convention center every day, and this year I was like, I'm gonna have to do something different.
That's smart.
I piled everything on about 4 days and got everything done. So.
You need to be thinking about, like, say, round 8, 9, and 10. It gets real now. Like this is we're at fourth quarter. Like it's time for money now. So, like, you're really smart by doing that. And I think hopefully in the future you keep that, because, man, there's such a mind game in there. Like we talked about, like you have to think about this and that. And right now we're doing some podcasts, and I think you're gonna chill the rest of the day.
Oh yeah,
That's perfect. That's perfect. Like I said, to help you keep your mind right and kind of keep your mind focused on your job.
For sure.
It's
a big part.
I don't think you guys kind of grasp all the people that are watching you, but right, like, so last night my wife and I are sitting at like the bar watching the finals downstairs at the MGM, and I'm sitting next to, I don't know, there's probably 3 or 4 guys and a couple girls, and we're all just kind of lined up there, and we're watching the calf roping, and you're coming on, and I'm talking you up like I'm practically freaking Jeff Metters over here. Like, I'm talking to my wife, telling her all this stuff. Oh, he's gonna do this. This is his horse.
And then I tire at 9.
No.
Who is that guy? I don't know him.
So I'm talking him up, I'm talking him up, and this kid next to me, I can tell, is listening to me, right? Because he kind of getting one of these deals. He's getting a little closer, And we get done, and he says, "You know Kincade?" I said, "Yeah." And he says, "I know him too." He says, "I went to high school with him, and I never thought I'd be watching him rope at the NFR."
You
That's
told us a
funny.
little bit about that,
Yeah.
right?
That's funny.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I sure like him. I met him at Prescott. I told him the whole story. He said, "Oh yeah, he's a good dude." He goes, "But I just never thought I'd watch him at the NFR." And he was just sitting there having a drink and enjoying it. So it's it's crazy to know that somebody from your high school made it all the way to the finals and is sitting there watching you rope. That's pretty neat, I think.
It is, it's very cool. And I'll be honest, like in high school, I mean, since I started back roping whenever I was probably 13, and since the day I quit baseball and I said I'm roping, I'd I'd walk up and tell you I was 14 years old and I couldn't tie a calf under 15, but I'd walk up and tell you, hey, I'm roping at the national finals, and that was it. There was no backup plan. There was no nothing.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like I doubt very many people believed me, all the way up till I was
You believed you.
17 or 18.
That's all that matters. You believed you.
Exactly, exactly. I doubt anybody believed me, but it all worked out, and it is cool. I had some buddies come up from Mount Pleasant, and
Yeah.
we all went to Top Golf, I guess 2 nights ago. So I mean, it is cool.
Yeah, it was just the funniest thing out of 15 guys I could have been sitting there watching and talking up. I'm over there talking you up, and this kid next to me says, "Man, I went to high school,
High school
with
with
him."
them.
I said, "That's crazy. Who knows? It could have been one of your buddies you're at Top Golf with. I
It
don't
could
know.
have been, yeah.
I have no idea, but I thought that was wild, and it really brought into perspective for me all of the people that watch you guys and pay attention to you and know your horses and know you're from Mount Pleasant and know all these things about you. It's pretty cool. And for you guys, it's got to be way cool.
Yeah, it is, and it's real cool. There's not, I don't know if anybody's made the finals from Mount Pleasant. I'm sure somebody has. Yes, a barrel racer has. But, anyways, it's not like Stephenville.
You're the only
or-
calf roper that
Yeah,
been from there.
it's not like Stephenville or Arizona where there's so many, professional calf ropers or rodeo athletes. So everybody in that area, it's like they're huge fans. Like, uh, before I went to the American, I went on the radio show and I told everybody to come out. And I'm not kidding you. In Ranger Stadium, there was a whole section. And you could look up there, and everybody was from Mount Pleasant, Texas, Titus County. I mean, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Then I have so much support from that county and that town. It's truly amazing. And it blows my mind.
Yeah, let's say something about Texas because I Hayden, who we called earlier, she's gonna go to Baylor and
Mhm.
Waco. So we were over there touring the campus and checking stuff out, and we went to the Waco High School homecoming football game, and it was more intense, more fun than any professional football game I ever been to in my life. And the visiting team rolled in deep. I mean, they rolled like charter buses and like the whole setup. They had trainers on the sidelines, and I mean, they had everything you could think of. And I just thought to myself, like, when these kids go around to these visiting schools, they have to feel at home. I mean, because the whole town comes with them. I mean, the
right.
visitor side was as full as anywhere in Arizona I've ever seen. So that has to be the same feeling, right? When I mean, you look up there and your whole county's there. I remember that guy. Seen him at the store. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's pretty fun. But I think that's a Texas thing, man. They just support.
100% it is.
Yeah, I remember we were looking at some properties over there, and we got in there on like a Wednesday, and I called the realtor, and he said, "Yeah, I can show him any time tomorrow." And I said, "Man, I got something going on tomorrow. Could I show him? Could you show him Friday?" And he said, "Anytime before noon." I said, "Oh, okay. You booked up afternoon, trying to make some small talk." And he goes, "Oh no, it's an away game." And I said, "It's an away game? What do you mean?" And he goes, "Oh, whatever high school's playing an away game." He goes, "And we got to leave about 1:30." And I said, "Oh, you got a kid plays football?" He says, "Oh, hell no, son. I'm 74 years old." He says, but I've had season tickets for the last 25 years, and I don't miss a game, and I go to all the away games. And I just so sense of family over there with all you guys.
That's how it is in Texas. I mean, Texas high school football, it's bigger than most college football. I mean, it's insane. And I had a cousin, which he's the backup for LSU. He was this year. Hopefully next year he'll start. But he played in Marcus. It's right there by Dallas. And I mean, I've seen there's videos of him playing in high school, and this is whenever he's a sophomore and junior. And I mean, the stands and everything. Like I had no idea it was that big until he was playing high school football. But I mean, it is insane.
Yeah, it's wild. I think Prosper, Texas, right there by Dallas, just built a new stadium, and don't quote me on this, but it's like 50, 60 million or something they spent on a high school football stadium.
It's insane.
It's for real. Like even like I said, the whole Texas takes their sports serious. Even the
Yeah.
rodeos, the junior rodeos and stuff. I mean, they got the regions, and they're kids that rope really good, badass rigs and all that stuff. And it's like, man, Texas, the fans come over here to Texas, or sorry, to Nevada to come support their Texas Cowboys. And like when they bring the flag in, all the Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I mean
The stands go
half of the
crazy.
stands go crazy. You know what I mean?
It's a cool feeling, and I'm half Kunas. I'm half from Louisiana, but whenever they say 32 strong and they start playing the Texas music and
Tell
you're
ya.
running in there, I mean, it's like high school nationals. You know, everybody hated Texas, but we love being from Texas.
Yeah.
But it's almost like that. You're right in there with your chest puffed out.
A lot of support, man. A lot of support.
Yeah, and it's a different level of rodeo in Texas. From kind of my side, like the bull riding side. I remember when I had my bulls, I had a high school stock contractor call me from Texas and say, "Hey, I heard you got some good ones in Arizona. I'd like to come look at them." Sure, no problem. So we talked a little bit on the phone, and I was like, "Man, you know these bulls I got over here. I've put them together. They're kind of the A team. Like it ain't nothing for us to blank 20 guys in a bull riding." And he says, "Oh, okay. Send me some videos." Send him some videos, and he really liked them and this and that. And I said, "Now these are for high school kids." He goes, "Oh yeah." He says they won't have no problem with them.
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa!"
Telling you.
So we sent a couple over there, and he sent videos back, and I mean these kids are just hoeing it out of them like
John
JV
Kremper
Booty.
would spank that
Yeah,
son.
and he just spanked them. I mean, on like a day off, you know. And it's the level, you know, it's the level of athletes, and I just think it's so cool. Not to take anything away from Arizona, but I think that the family and everything that you guys got behind you from the state of Texas is pretty awesome.
It is. It is. You know, and I think what you said, the junior level and the high school level, I mean, that's showing up here. Like, you know, somebody was talking about the other day, like me and Harris and, you know, Shad, Riley, all of us, they were asking, like, how we're doing it. How are you doing all this at the NFR? And I'm like, I've been roping against Shad and Riley since I was 14 years old. You know, it's no difference than the 15 and under finals. You know, had Cody Oles. Like the pressure that all these kids are getting to face at a young level, it's showing up. And there's a ton more behind us that haven't qualified for the NFR that's on their way. But the level of competition is just absolutely insane. Like I went over there and watched the 12 and under tie down at the Las Vegas Junior NFR. The 6-man shootout, the first two guys out are 8-2 and 8-6 with 2 wraps and a hui in the 12 and under. I mean, it's
Well,
insane.
what was that kid that put it on him over there? He's Brett Tatum's kid, Pecos Tatum.
Pecos Tatum, yeah.
Pecos Tatum, yeah, I know his dad, and yeah,
They're getting groomed.
They're
for
coming.
this. They're getting. I didn't have that when I was a kid. I didn't have any junior NFRs or any of that. You know, like I think what was it? Yeah, there might have been one. Little Britches.
Little Britches.
That was
yes,
the
sir.
only one that you could have went to back in my day. But now they got them all over the place. Like they got. I live in Casa Grande. They have a qualifier for the junior NFR right up the road from me. My little boy's been watching the center far. My Gio and Camilo, and they're wanting to do this, and I'm like, man. If they're 11 and 13, if we start hauling them and taking them to this stuff like that, and they do want to pro rodeo, they're groomed for this.
They're
already.
ready to roll.
Yeah, like it's like when I went, I turned 18. I thought I'm gonna go rodeo a little bit, and when I tell the kids out here in Arizona, they jackpot a lot. You learn to catch a lot of cattle. When you go to Texas, you got to real fast. You got to come over the chutes. You got to throw in the corner. There's guys that are crossfiring. You're gonna have to know how to crossfire all that stuff over there. And so, like, it just, like I said, it's a faster paced game in Texas. They have jackpots and stuff, but them guys are coming over the chutes. And in Arizona, you might have 15 guys that are really, really good, 15 healers and 15 healers. Over there, you got 30 headers and 30 healers that are really good over there. So it's just I like Texas. They got some really big rodeos and stuff, but how they're doing it and grooming their kids to get prepared for this NFR is something else. Like I said, you're Shad, you, Riley, like these, it's just proof And he said he went to the 12 and under the other day. Be on the lookout for them 12-year-old kids hearing
Yeah,
about 6 years that are
exactly.
out here doing work too. So,
Exactly.
Well, I mean, look at little Mike.
yep.
The
Yeah.
only thing stopping him from being sitting right here with us is his age.
Yeah, he's only
That's
14.
the only thing.
There's a little
Yeah.
buddy of mine. He's qualified for the junior high finals last year. My little boy, he's a 9 elite. And, he
14.
just got into high school this year.
He's a healer or header?
Healer, ranked, dude. He's been
Holy
spanking.
smokes.
He's been
Actually,
spanking
like-
open guys since he was 11 years old, dude.
I think 2 years ago, or sorry, 2 weeks ago, he turned 15.
Yeah.
15 years old. He's a 9 elite.
He's a man. Like though, no, he's a big kid, big
full grown.
hands.
Yeah, he's
full
built
grown.
like Shad kind of.
Swings a rope like that. When he was a little kid, it was cool because like I mean, even me, I don't like it running through my hands as much, and like I would try to get to the horn a little quick. And he was a little bitty kid. He'd come around there and hold the slack and then just run through his hand. He's just like a man. You're like, oh, that kid's.
And I
nuts.
mean,
the kid's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm highly confident on anything too. Like we could go down and just buy 10 head at the sale barn and let him go, and he'd come back with 8 hill horses.
Yeah,
Yeah, he can ride them. So hey, we're back. MGM Signature Towers.
Best.
And this is a hookup, Caesar. Like this definitely the place to be. We got Kincade over here. You don't have to tell us exactly where you're staying, just because we don't want you to get mobbed by the ladies. But are you staying close by here? Or?
I am staying at the MGM Grand.
Oh, MGM Grand. All right.
I wish I was over here in these towers, though. I promise you that.
Hit us up next year. We just need a little spot on the shirt.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I like
I
it.
got plenty of them.
I got plenty of spots on the shirt. All right. So hey, we were talking a little bit in the break. Well, you guys were telling stories about somebody. Why don't you expand on some of them stories?
Man, I tell you what, Monty Lewis's world champion calf roper, one of my favorites. And when I first started coming out here and rodeoing a little bit, man, it's a little intimidating to get to rope against some of these guys. It's fast paced. These guys are the best horse in the world and stuff. And man, like I said, I was just getting into. I made the college finals for the first time, and I'm in the tunnel right there watching Monty. I didn't have very good college finals there. I didn't rope very good. Like I said, I was a little intimidated and stuff. I just wasn't mean enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be tough.
Yeah.
And Monty, he was getting himself pumped up, man. Like he's jumping up and down. I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm a bad mother. I mean, just getting mad, tough. And I'm like,
Probably beating himself.
Oh yeah, dude, slapping himself in the face, and like he's going through the tunnel, like he's jumping
Like
up
he
and
could
down.
get in a fist
And
fight.
he gets on his horse and he's pumped up, and I mean he goes down there and he ties him and he wins the college finals. Like he's just like you. Like I mean, but this is says, man, I gotta get a little tougher, man. I mean, when you get in a fight, your adrenaline gets to going.
tough.
You get mean, you
Yeah.
get tough, man.
Yeah.
And man, I laugh because Kai Hamilton had a really good interview the other day.
Great
And
interview.
A great interview, and they asked him why. You know what I mean? Well, 24 hours you about died. You know what I mean? Like, what did it take? And he says, I'm not a pussy.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I got from it. Like hanging out with Monty and stuff a little bit because he used to be my buddy, and I'm like, man, I got to get tough. And like, I'm sure you got a good Monty Lewis story. That's one of my favorite Monty Lewis stories. But
Monty's one of the best guys out there. I mean, he is. Whenever you see him at a rodeo, you get excited to go talk to him. And if you have a kid with you, I wouldn't bring a kid with you around Monty Lewis. F you, F dad, I'm about to F this guy, fuck guy. And it is the funniest thing ever. But at Ellensburg, he's high call. I'm like 5th high call. I got a calf that he ran, and I'm asking him about it. And I said, do you think she'll take a wrap in a hooey? He said, Henry, it's short round time. You put 2 effing wraps on everything in the short round. 2 wraps, okay? So I go out there and I make a great run. I'm 8 flat, 8-1. I'm winning it.
2 wraps.
It's 2 wraps. The second high call beats me, so it's just Marnie left. I'm winning second in the average. He blows the starts out. He misses her. It skips on. Flanks her. He puts a wrap and a hooey on her. He beats me by like 2/10. I told him, I said, Monty, I thought you said a short round time, 2 wraps. Oh, no, F that.
Yeah, you Kincade,
2 wraps
you
for-
need to
yeah,
go 2
it's
wraps.
2
You're
wraps
young,
for
you
me,
need
yeah.
this. But me, shoot,
Yeah.
I'm going 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm here to win. I don't know if you've noticed.
that Monty Lewis, man, he gets fired up. I love it. I don't know how old he is now, but he gets fired up.
Still
and
to
he
this
gets it
day.
on.
Yeah, man. Like I used to, I still do. I get fired up to rope. It just, your adrenaline gets to going. You get loose. Like let's go. Let's go rope something. I don't know if you feel the same way. Like in the Tolleson-Mack, you got to kind of, it's a little intimidating to go, all the fans and everything. and then announcer screaming at you. You know, you got to be 6'4" or whatever. Like you got to get tough. You got to get mean. This is the national finals rodeo. You gotta turn into a beast a little bit, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that's where I have to, like, you know, bring in the inner beast out, I guess. I don't know, because sometimes I'm too calm and like I'm in the tunnel. There's two guys ahead of me and I'm standing in line just like we were talking, and I'm sitting there like I'm eating lunch in Mount Pleasant. I'm like, come on, and I start slapping myself. Like, I gotta get pumped up. I'm about to rope in the Tolleson-Mack, you know. But for sure.
Yeah, good. Shout out to Monty Lewis, one of my favorites, man.
That's the great part about having these podcasts, man. Is just hearing some stories like that. It's so funny because you could just imagine the look on your face when you seen him go one rap. You're like,
Monty,
what happened
you
to
just
short
told me
round
5 minutes ago, man.
What happened to short round time?
yeah, for sure. Well, man, we're gonna let you get some rest because we obviously we're fans, so we'll be watching, we'll be pulling for you. We appreciate you coming by. You're always a big supporter of the podcast, and we sure appreciate it, man.
Man,
Shoot, yeah, it's always fun.
One thing, like I've been trying to do it at the end of the podcast with something inspirational, something that, especially throughout the year, right there, that you can tell people that, you know, keep going forward, or, you know, something inspirational for us.
You know exactly what Kai Hamilton said, but to the younger viewers, there's better ways to word it than Kai Hamilton
Right.
did. But at the same time, man, you just got to dig deep. Like, it don't matter what you do in life. There's going to come hard times, but you know, just always believing that hard times don't last, and you have to dig deep and man up and just get after it. You know, if you want something in life, there's no easy road, I think, and you just have to freaking dig deep and go on with it. You know, always move forward.
I love it, man.
I like it.
Appreciate it. Thank you for
All right,
coming
man.
on.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
Later,
y'all
buddy.
having me. It's always fun.
Yes, sir.